Yo, welcome. So today we'll be talking about this situation involving this mother who apparently sold her 13-year-old daughter into marriage. And not just to any person, to a 47-year-old man. When I saw this topic, it was kind of shocking, but it didn't shock me as it should have shocked me because I am privy to situations like this. You know what I mean? I've been in a situation like this firsthand. You know what I mean? And I know that some women, no, not all women, and even some men will do anything for money. You know what I mean? Some people do have a price. In the society that we're living in right now, you will see even grown women like young fresh girls in their 20s. They have the world in front of them, they have opportunities, but instead of putting out the effort to work and get those opportunities, they'd rather give themselves to some older washed up men who already have their money, some overweight, outfit, out of shape men. They give those type of men their bodies and pretend that they love them and tell themselves that, oh, he might be out of shape, he might be ugly, even though they always wanted a hot guy. But all of a sudden, they find the smallest thing to validate their action. Oh, he might be out of shape, he might be ugly, but he has nice toenails, he treats me well, blah blah blah, just to validate their decision to sell themselves on the market. And you have a lot of men who do that as well. You have a lot of young guys who are lazy. They don't want to bet on themselves, and so they'd rather give themselves to some old, washed up women or some overweight, oversized women just in order to get some quick cash, to make some money, to drive her luxury car and all of that. So it all goes back to money, what people will and will not do for money. And it makes me wonder if the forbidden fruit that they speak about, was it really a fruit or was it money? Some people think it's sex, but it may have been money, because the lengths that some people will go for $1. It's quite appalling. So going back to the story, this woman sold her 13-year-old daughter to a 47-year-old man. And when I was growing up, I had my little girlfriend, she was like 13 and I was like 14 when we started dating, and we were together like 14, 15, 16. By the time she was 16, my girlfriend was very sexy at the time. She had a nice ass, and she was glowing. And then this older dude came to Jamaica. He was in his 30s, in his late 30s or his mid 30s, and he saw this 16-year-old child, and he wanted her, and he started to pursue her and all that. And I started to remember, when I saw this article, how the mother at the time, she was very abrasive towards me, even though the daughter and we were both kids. She was abrasive towards me. She didn't want me talking to her daughter. However, when that older guy came into the picture, the grown man came into the picture, and started to spend money and started to invest in their livelihood. He started to put an extra room on their house. He started to buy furniture, buy appliances and all those things for her. And as a child, I couldn't do that for my girlfriend. By this time I was maybe like 17 and she was like 16. And he started to do all of these things for her. And one day she said to me that, hey, this guy is doing this for me, and my family is in poverty and all of that. And I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I can't stop anything at this point. The mother is already on board for the bullshit. So she ended up being with that older guy. He ended up getting her pregnant. and the rest is history. You know what I mean? But that just goes to show you how some mothers are, you know what I mean, like they can be bought, because I wasn't able to support her financially because I was a child myself, you know what I mean? So she gave me a hard time. But as soon as an older guy, the person who she should have chased away, came in the picture, all of a sudden she had amnesia, you know what I mean? All of a sudden she was ready and ripe for a relationship now, So that just goes to show you as well. And this also breaks off into another topic. I'm not going to let the men loose in this situation, you know what I mean? That 47-year-old man that actually took the bid and sought to copulate with that 13-year-old, you should be sent to prison. You know what I mean? Men like those, men in their 30s who are trying to date 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 15-year-olds, even 18-year-olds, you know what I mean? You should be ashamed of yourself. Like, as a grown man right now, I don't even like dating younger girls, I like big woman my age group, you know what I mean? I don't find younger women attractive. I find that if I date a younger woman, I tend to be too careful. I want to say, hey, study. Remember, you're in college. You should be reading your notes. I find myself playing more of a big brother role than a boyfriend role. You know what I mean? And it's so unfortunate that all men, they don't think like that. They don't see themselves, you know what I mean, as a protector of the female. You know what I mean? They're just interested in, plowing into the female's warmth. You get me? And it's very sad that sex really controls the narrative for most men. You know what I mean? Sex really controls their actions, their reflex action. You know what I mean? It's all driven by sex. And that is why you'll find a 40-year-old man, you know what I mean, 47-year-old man, really pushing himself to a 13-year-old and a 30-plus-year-old man, a 35-year-old man, giving it his all to be with a 17-year-old girl, you know what I mean? Very shameful. And guys like that, you should be ashamed of yourself. You know what I mean? There's nothing to be proud of. You didn't win anything by being with a 13-year-old or a 17 or a 16-year-old. You win nothing. You know what I mean? Because like the pride of being an alpha male or conquering, that pride comes from when you basically you target a woman, you know what I mean, in your grade, in your class, and then you approach that woman, you seek that woman based on merit, and you win her heart. That's where that proudness comes from as a man, when you know that, well, I saw this woman, I made a pass and I got her, she's now mine. That's where it comes from, based on merit. I don't see older men who use money, you know what I mean, or play on the impressionable minds of young girls. I don't see y'all as being any, I don't see you as being any alpha male. I don't see you as anything to be proud of, or as being, in Jamaica, what we say, a gallus. I don't see you guys as being that, because you're basically picking on the lowest hanging fruit. You know what I mean? You're picking on a female who's not mature enough to make certain logical decisions. You know what I mean? So I just see you guys as punks, really. And shame on you. And women that continue to, make themselves into like a target because they feel like the man has money, you know what I mean? Like, shame on you as well. Women that put their daughters online, men who put their daughters online, you know what I mean, in the line of fire, you know what I mean, for these perverted individuals to prey on them. You know what I mean? Shame on you, you know what I mean? And I hope guys like you get what you deserve. I hope mothers and fathers like you get what you deserve. You know what I mean? And I wish the longest jail time on women who molest their kids through secondhand like this woman did. I'm out.